Welcome back to Piney Grove, folks. My name's Brad, and in today's video, I'd like to show you how to screed rocks. So I'm in the middle of another project for putting a French drain in front of the house behind me, and I needed to stop from that project and get some rocks, but then I remembered when they delivered these river rocks for us to put on the side of the mega shed, they had a lot of trash, and by trash I mean they had a lot of fines in them, and I don't want those fines in a French drain because they'll clog up the holes in the perforated pipe and they'll clog up the holes in the basin, and they just create a mess, and I'd rather just have big rocks that are very porous so the water can flow through them. So on the side of the mega shed, I actually had to dig that back out and then come over here to this pile and skim off the top. So I would just take the top layer of these river rock. The problem is, once you get down a couple of inches, you start getting into the fines. So back on our house that we're gonna move from to move out here to Piney Grove, we have a lot of rocks in our landscaping, and over time, from mowing the lawn and just general dust, they get full of dirt and grass grows in them. So I created this screed right here for that house so that we could screed the rocks around the house, and we've done a lot of screeding. We've still got a little bit to go as we prepare to sell that house, but we've got a lot done there. So I brought the screed out here. It does not fit this wheelbarrow. It's made for another cart that we have, but I figured I'd show it and show you how I built it and then show you how it works. So my face is probably cut off the camera, so we'll just focus on the screed. But it's built out of treated 2x4s, and I simply made a box, and I only went as wide as the hardware cloth. So I built a box out of 2x4s, and then I ripped down some treated 2x4s here. So these are basically 1/2 of a 2x4 so that it would fit perfectly in the other cart that I have. The two legs on this end are taller than that end, and that's so that the rocks go down the slope. So there's 2 layers of hardware cloth here, and one of them is probably a 3/8 layer. So I have 1 layer of hardware cloth here, and it used to only have that 1 layer, but what I found was that I was losing too many small rocks that were still useful, so I went ahead and put another layer. So we'll flip it over here, and this is real small. This is like 1/4 inch on here. So I've got the 3/8 on the bottom, and that provides a lot of support for the rocks. Then I have the 1/4 on top, and it gives a real nice surface for the rocks to slide off of. So what I do is I shovel the rocks. I put one side higher than the other. I've got a little bit of an edge here to keep the rocks on top. I put it at an angle, and I put something on the other end to catch it. Today we're going to be using the tractor bucket. But I throw the rocks up here. The real fines will either go in this wheelbarrow, or right here they'll actually go on the ground because this wheelbarrow isn't as wide as my other cart. But when they fall off the end, they're going to fall into the bucket, and we're going to have clean rocks. So let's bungee this thing down and demonstrate it. So it's not going to work perfectly because it wasn't designed for this cart or to go into a tractor bucket, but we'll make it work. So we'll get a bunch of rocks. And we'll use a hoe and a shovel to push them into the bucket, but inside the wheelbarrow we're getting a bunch of fines. Now I use a hoe and I just drag it across the screed. And as you drag it, all the fines fall down either into the wheelbarrow or on the ground, and all you get is big rocks off the end. So down in the wheelbarrow, there's a bunch of fines. Let me get a handful. So that's what it screeded out, right? A bunch of sand and little tiny pebbles. And this size stays on top and goes into the bucket. And you see that the bucket has a whole bunch of clean rock. Now that process didn't take very long, just a couple minutes, and I got, what, 5 or 6 shovelfuls of really clean rock. And just that little bit of fines that you see there, that would just clog up the drains in the French drain. So this is a real simple process. It's real easy. I'm going to do a little bit more close up, and then I'll let you go. You see this leafy trash. You can just do that, clean it up. So I'm moving the wheelbarrow back and forth so that I fill up different areas of the bucket. go back and forth with the hoe, back and forth with the hoe. Big rocks roll right in. I'll dump the fines so you can see what I screeded out. So we got a bunch of sand, a bunch of real little rocks. Got some millipedes and some crickets too. But that right there won't go in my French drain now. It'll go in the driveway where it belongs. You might be curious where these river rock are going. It's going to be in a different video of this project, but I'll show you. We'll go dump this load of river rock. But that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please click that like button at the bottom, subscribe if you haven't already, and share with your friends. Otherwise, we'll catch you on the next one. Take care, y'all.